Sahna Bhavatu Sahnau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. I'm going to do the prayer. Om Shanno Mitraha Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvayarma Shanno Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnururukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Vrutam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Vavatu Tatvaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we are at a section where they are talking about the great combinations in this world. And the substratum was the sandhi from the Sanskrit language, that how two words are joined. And so he was taking the minds of his students to higher level by talking about different sandhis. And last time we saw was Prithvi, about the universe. So now teacher was saying that how concerning the universe, the earth is a prior form, heaven or the firmament is the posterior form, atmosphere is the junction, air is the connection, and so meditate upon the universe. So, and the next one now is, he's talking about luminaries, or like in Hindi mein bolte hain, jyoti, light. So the verse is, Atha Adhi Jyotisham Agni Purva Rupam Aditya Uttara Rupam Apaha Sandhi Vaidyutaha Sandhanam Iti Aditya Jyotisham. So Atha means now, means next. Abhi kya? Adhi Jyotisham, concerning the luminaries, Jyotis. Agni, fire, Purva Rupam, prior form. Aditya is the name of the sun. The sun, Uttara Rupam, is the posterior form. Apaha is water. Sandhi, the intermediate form, or jahan wo join hote hain. Vidyutaha is, Vidyut is lightning. The lightning in the sky, that's what they're talking about. Sandhana, means of joining the connection. Iti, thus. Adhi Jyotisham, upon the light, one should meditate upon the light, thus. So it's in some ways, whatever we did now, it's a similar thing and talking about the luminaries. So he's just saying that regarding the different things that emit light. So it's fire emit lights and sun also emit light. So here he's saying fire is a prior form. And, this is just one way of approaching it, because even when we saw that at the elemental level, fire comes first, then the other things come, then the sun came. So that's why they say sun is a posterior form. That's why they said that. So for us, sun is the source of all light and energy. But what is their connection between fire and the sun? They called it water over here, moisture in the air. And somebody say, hey, how did that happen? So you have to let your imagination go a little bit further over here. Because how Swamiji was explaining that water absorbs heat and light. Converts it into a vapor. And this can come from the sun and the heat. Suppose if there is a heat on the earth, dono se hoega ye. So, heat is contributed by sun and fire both, yeah. And so the moisture को connection बताया यहाँ पर, because उन दोनों के बीच में है ये moisture, and then lightning is the means of joining them, because scientifically speaking, when there is heat, light and moisture, all these things together, that's when the lightning happens, so that's how you have to look at a streak of lightning. So, it takes a little while to sink in, But basically we have to see the purpose of them, that they are trying to lift the student's mind to the higher. And this is one way that they are taking them up. That's how we have to look at it. So, and Hindi mein bahut, the person who was speaking in Hindi was very beautiful. So I'm going to read that how he said it, because all are Hindi speaking. जैसे ज्योतियों के संयोजन में अग्नि पहला रूप है, सूर्य बाद का रूप है, जल उनके मिलने का स्थान है और उनका संगम है, और बिजली उन्हें जोड़ने वाली कड़ी है. यह हुआ ज्योति विषय संयोजन. This is also very poetic, the way he described in Hindi. Yeah. Shall we read? No? Any question? Okay. Meeraji, you want to read? Oh, Nareshji, did you want to read? Go ahead. Go ahead, Nareshji.
Meeraji wants to read, is fine.
No. Please go ahead. I'm listening.
Now concerning the luminaries or the meditation upon light, the fire is the prior form, the sun is the posterior form, water is the intermediate form, and lightning is the connection. Thus one should meditate upon light. As explained above, upon the same substratum, here is another idea regarding luminaries which emit light. The source of light, very well known to the student, is certainly fire, which becomes a prior form, and the posterior is represented by the sun, which is the source of all life, meaning here, all energy. If two mutually unrelated objects are enumerated, no meditation upon them is possible unless we are told or we come to discover a relationship between them. That connection between the sun and the fire is explained here as water, meaning the moisture in the atmosphere. Water can be converted into its vapor only through the application of heat energy. A certain amount of vapor is always present in the atmosphere, which is contributed by the heat energy from both the fire and the sun. Thus, we are told that the vapor or moisture is the atmosphere. Moisture in the atmosphere is the connection between the sun and fire, which may also mean that one common factor in both of them is heat.
So you saw that how Swamiji brought the whole science, that why they call, because sometimes they say, well, how can water be the connection? Hey, water is the one that gets heated by both. That's why it becomes a connection.
If water vapor is thus the junction between the two, lightning is the means of joining them. When two things are amalgamated to become one homogeneous whole, there should be continuity in their quality throughout. Two samples of sugar kept at a distance of a foot on a table cannot be considered as one whole until they are brought together. When they are together, every part of it is sugar. Similarly, the heat and the light energy in the sun and the heat and the light energy in the fire are separated from one another by an endless column of atmosphere. As a result of their heat, the atmosphere gets laden with moisture and light and heat principle expressing themselves as streaks of lightning connect. In silvery threads, the sun above and his representative below. This beautiful picture not only smacks of science, but in its totality provides a compelling and dreadful beauty, expressing light and heat in all their might and intensity.
Again, he's in a poetic way, he's explaining. And we can see that even though lightning, I don't know if you guys enjoy seeing the lightning. यहाँ पर कम होता है lightning storm, मुंबई में बहुत होता था. And our house was like on an open near the ocean, right by the ocean. So you could see, and Houston में बहुत होता था lightning, and it is because we used to call it light show. When जब बहुत सारी light, it is a little bit dangerous, obviously. If it falls on some house or something, it can burn thing or it can damage the appliances. But just the brilliant, it looks, it's a God's fireworks, you can call it, amazing. Yeah. So he's just saying that how For meditation purposes, it's a very powerful thing, when you want to meditate upon the sun, heat, and all those things. Any question, comment? Yeah, this was relatively simple, but we'll just go slow. We will do one at a time instead of just piling up too much. But this Taittreya Upanishad has a very, since we did the other two, this one has its own charm, different only. See how it's going, Each one is so different, but the subject matter is the same. That's another beauty of it. In the end, the purpose is the same. The Brahman is the, or Brahma Vidya they call it, but how they approach it is each one is different. Each one brings its own masala, beauty and all that, in it. Any comment, question, whatever we did? Okay, then Urmilji, you have something?
So I still didn't get how lightning is connected. I mean, I see sun and the fire, but I know lightning happens with the moisture, but
it's more like I kind of agree with you. Is that how is it connecting sun and the heat energy? Just think of it this way. You understood why they said moisture is a connection, because heat, and lightning happens because ऐसे line सी दिखती है ना, so it looks like as though it is connecting, you can say. I don't think that there is so much fixed thing, because he already said that what they are trying to do is lift the student's mind up. So hey, बोलते हैं ना कि सारा टाइम ऐसे करके दुनिया की प्रॉब्लम देखते रहो और थोड़ा ऊपर भी देखो. That's what if you look at from that idea, even if we don't understand everything scientifically, you'll still enjoy the beauty. That's how I have to look at it. Yeah.
No, I really admire how they are explaining that how to focus your mind.
Exactly.
What examples they are giving, it's just mind-boggling,
Yeah.
I mean, I have never read any Upanishad, so this is...
now you know how much is the beauty, and now that you brought that subject up, so this is what happened to Chinmayanandji, that when he studied all these Upanishads and all that with his guru, Tapovan Maharaj, and Tapovan Maharaj never came down from Uttarkashi. He had in the very highest part of Himalayas, that very rarely people can survive there because it's so cold, and then when Swamiji stayed there for 7 years to study with him, just to get the water, you have to climb down to the Ganga, and he had to do that every day and all that. So after he got all this gyan and all that, and then he felt because he was English speaking, he was journalist, and he had seen the dunyadari and everything, he thought ki kitna acha gyan hai. Just like you are saying, hey, unless you kind of go into it, you won't know. But imagine reading this verse without Swamiji's explanation. हमको कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा. So he felt that ये घर में जाना चाहिए, Upanishad का ज्ञान. So he got very inspired, and especially and the whole story is he was sitting near the Ganga one day, and he said this Ganga starts from Himalayas and goes and blesses everybody in the plain, so many different places and all that. Same way I want to take this Gyan Ganga and take it down to everybody. And he expressed to the Guru, तो Guru, शुरू में तो गुरु ने बोला कोई तेरा सुनने वाला नहीं है, किसको टाइम है ये सब करने का. But उनका inspiration इतना strong था, maybe Guru was just testing him or something. Finally Guru gave him the blessing, and he came to teach this Upanishad, whoever wanted to listen. He didn't discriminate कि भाई pre-qualification, nothing is required. Come. And some of those Brahmins got very upset with him. How dare he teach the Upanishad? ये तो खाली ब्राह्मणों का काम है, ये है वो. He faced a lot of opposition. In fact, nobody was give him a place to speak. Finally, some Muslim guy gave him some haunted house or something. He did his work, something crazy, But he just felt there was so much beautiful message and knowledge, and he felt confident to translate it into English and teach everybody. And even kids, obviously we don't teach the Upanishad or anything in the lower grades or anything like that. But some ideas from there only. And by the time you become teenager and adult, you are already curious, you know. So in our adult classes in Chinmaya Mission, they pick up Upanishad and teach us, or study group method definitely, you know. So that's where I got introduced to all these Upanishad, and each one has so much to offer, so much. And the approaches are so interesting. So even if you take one and you say, wow, this is great, then you go to another, this is great too, you know. So as we go, and this is our third one, hopefully we will finish all, the 10 are the most, you know, famous ones. Hopefully we'll continue one after the other. Yeah. Any other comment, question? Okay, then I can close over here. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.